Good morning, children. This is our second video of lesson 1, Clever Tenali Ramakrishna. Children, in the last class you have seen about, I think you have googled about many stories. I got good responses, and you have read about the funny incidents of Tenali Ramakrishna. I think you might have all known now who is Tenali Ramakrishna and how funny his stories are. Right, children? So today, I think last class we have discussed about the characters of the story. So let us go into the lesson. Now you have seen that I told you about the characters, that there are Chitravarma, a painter, then there is Sri Krishna Devaraya, who is the emperor of the Vijayanagar Empire, and there are the courtiers, 4 courtiers are there, and there is Tenali Ramakrishna, who is the jester of the court, and there is also a cook who is a carpenter. I think, children, you remember that I have asked you one question in the last class. What will happen if somebody changes his job suddenly? Okay? And remember this question, I'll just ask you at the end of the lesson also, and you will know why I asked you this question. So here, let us go into the lesson. I think in the last class, let us again revise that Chitravarma is a famous painter in Sri Krishna Devaraya's court. You can see Chitravarma over there holding the painting. You can see in the picture. And there is Krishna Devaraya, the king, and there are the courtiers and the Tenali Ramakrishna also along with him. So you can see Chitravarma showing his painting and how the king is very much impressed by the painting. And he goes to see his painting and he appreciates him. So I told you this lesson is in the form of a play and all these characters. So what is the dialogue that Chitravarma says is, "Welcome, Your Majesty." Now, Your Majesty, what do you mean by Your Majesty? Why does he call him as Your Majesty? Because Your Majesty is a title of respect that is used while addressing a king or a queen. So, the Chitravarma addresses the king because as a mark of respect, he calls him as Your Majesty. And Sri Krishna Devaraya says, "Oh, what a beautiful picture. It looks really so natural." And the courtiers also, yes, they say, "Yes, Your Majesty, really it is wonderful." And of course, the painting was very beautiful. And the king appreciated it like anything. And then Sri Krishna Devaraya, not only that, he again says, "There is no painter on earth can compete with you." So there is no other painter. He says that he's such a beautiful that no other painter is there to match with your paintings. And you are a unique painter. Now, unique, what do you mean by unique? Unique means something which only one kind is there. No, nothing else can match with that. So unmatched. Unique means which is matchless. So he says that your painting is matchless to anybody else. You're such a beautiful painter and you shall be rewarded. He says you shall be rewarded for this because you have drawn such a beautiful painting. And what do you say, Ramakrishna? Then when Ramakrishna had come along with him, he asks him. Then what Ramakrishna would say? He says, "Yes, my lord, such an artist he deserves your encouragement." So he too appreciated Chitravarma very much. And Sri Krishna Devaraya then says, "That's great. Let him ask for anything. He shall get whatever he wants." And then the king announced that he shall get whatever he wants for whatever the painting he has done. Now Chitravarma said, "Thank you very much." So the painter was very happy that the king has given me such a appreciation like this and asked me to ask whatever I want. And Your Majesty, it's all your affection and encouragement. So he was very happy. You also feel happy when somebody encourages, isn't it? So he was also very happy. And then Sri Krishna Dev Raya said, your presence in the council of advisors will be a boon to the Vijayanagar Empire. And then he appreciated him like anything. Then Chitravarma said, I am afraid I am not, Your Majesty. Your blessings are worth the strength of 1,000 elephants. So, what Sri Krishna Dev Raya said, that your presence in the council of advisors, so you shall become my advisor, he said. In the council of advisors, I am giving you a place in that. So, that is a boon. It will be really a boon to the Vijayanagar Empire. Then Chitravarma, he said, first he was afraid of being an advisor to the king. And he said, I am afraid I am not, Your Majesty. Your blessings are worth. So, whatever your blessings you are giving, that is only the strength like of thousands elephants. You know, one elephant only has so much of strength. So his blessings only. The Chitravarma said, it is really just like a blessing, and it is a strength to me, just like of 1,000 elephants. And then Sri Krishna Dev Raya said, no, he didn't agree. The king was not ready to agree because he was so impressed by the painting. He said, no, a great painter like you should be rewarded in a fitting manner. So he wanted to give something more. As he was a king, no, he wanted to give more to the painters. So because something which would satisfy to his level. Then he said, no, a great painter like you should be rewarded in a fitting manner. Then Chitravarma said, Your Highness is merciful. Merciful means showing so much of kindness. So the king was showing so much of mercy upon him, and he said, then he could not deny whatever, could not refuse anything, whatever the king want to give. So he didn't say anything. Then it's all your kindness that you're showing to me, he said. Then Sri Krishna Dev Raya, thinking for a while, he snapped his fingers. You know what is snapped? Snapped means something which you just make a sudden sound by the fingers. You make it like this, that sound, with the fingers, like this. So that sound with the fingers, what you get it. Immediately he snapped his fingers, and then he decided without asking anybody, without taking a decision with his minister or with his advisors, Tenali Ramakrishna or anybody, without discussing, he just announced. He said, you will be my chief advisor from today onwards. Now, advisor, what is advisor? Advisor means one who gives the advice, to somebody. That is, he is called an advisor. So who are your advisors? Your parents, your teachers, your elders are your advisors. So the king also had to look after all his kingdom and empire and everything, okay, about the people. He has to do some things and all that. So he needs some suggestions from he takes the advice from the minister, he takes the advices from the chief advisors. So now he made this painter because he liked the paintings. So he's made the painter also as his chief advisor. So then from today onwards, that day onwards, he was the chief advisor. Now Chitravarma was really shocked that he made him as the advisor, chief advisor. Now, so he said, what, I cannot understand. How am I blessed, Your Majesty? So he was also very happy. He didn't at that time think that he was given such a big post over there, whether he would do justice to that or not. Because he was a painter, he knows only about painting. And he was given at that moment, he did not think about it, and he was very happy. So he was thinking, I've become a chief advisor beside the king, and I'll always be with the king and advise him. So he didn't understand that what is the difficulty afterwards. At that moment he accepted, and he was very much happy. Now Chitravarma said, how am I blessed? Really, I am blessed, Your Majesty, he said. But Ramakrishna, he was little bit clever. He was thinking that this is not correct, what the king is doing, and the painter cannot fulfill all these things. So because he was very clever, immediately he just stopped the conversation, and immediately he said, when two people are talking, when you talk in between, what do you say? Excuse me. So he said, excuse me, Your Majesty. he is talented in painting, but would it be right decision to make him he wanted to say that how to make him a chief advisor. So he wanted to say that, but Sri Krishna Dev Raya, he was a king and no one could deny his words. Whatever order the king gives, everyone should accept it. So he could not agree because at that moment he was only mad that he has to give him some some reward he has to give him. So then Sri Krishna Dev Raya immediately then stopped, and he didn't even let him complete the words, and he said, the emperor of Vijayanagara knows what is right. Okay, and immediately turned to the minister and said, Minister, please make an announcement that Chitravarma will be the chief advisor hereafter in our court. That's all. So before Ramakrishna could say anything, that Sri Krishna Dev Raya, he announced that he said to the minister that please make an announcement. What is announcement? Announcement means something which you make it a public thing. Whatever notice you want to give and you make it a public, it becomes an announcement. So he said announcement, make an announcement immediately that Chitravarma is our chief advisor. Then the minister also could not say anything. When king's orders something, do anyone has that guts to go and tell against him? So no one could say. Even the minister also could not say anything, and he immediately said, yes, your majesty, I will make an announcement in our empire. Then but Chitravarma's plans and actions led to confusion. So now you already know that Chitravarma is only good at painting. He can draw very beautifully and all that and impress the king. But he doesn't have any idea about the kingdom or how the people are, what are the needs of it. So that only a chief advisor needs to know all these things. Not that a painter means he will know how to paint it beautiful and all, but he should also have the knowledge of all this, giving right advices to the king. But so this Chitravarma, as he was the chief advisor, he was not able to make the proper plans and the actions, how to rule the kingdom and all that. So he could not give proper suggestions to the king, and all his plans and actions led to confusion everywhere. So there was everything confusion only. There was not even proper ruling was not there, and then he had never handled the matters of court before. So whatever the advices he used to give, he was not successful in that, and so because he had never done it before, so his decisions were irrelevant. What is irrelevant? It was not correct. It was not related to the beneficial of the people of the kingdom, and there was no proper. It was not at all. It was improper, and whatever decisions they were taking, the people were not satisfied with the ruling, and his conclusions lacked sense. That means whatever his decisions were taken, never it was to the for of the people. It was the people were not satisfied with that, and with this the people grew impatient. So now the people were not liking such thing of what is this ruling going on like this, and they were very impatient. They were not having any more. They wanted to go and ask the king like this, and so they were what is this ruling going on like this? We are not getting this. So we also think, no, suppose anyone is now ruling our thing, we find out all the faults out of it. So this is also how the people were finding out all the faults in the ruling of the kingdom. So then they were not satisfied. The elders of the empire decided to seek help from the court's jester Tenali Ramakrishna in this matter. So now at last, who all were elder people were there in the court. The other people, they all thought that now no one can go and say to the king, only the jester, the Tenali Ramakrishna can only solve this problem. So they all went through Tenali Ramakrishna and told about this, that we need help to somehow solve this problem. And because if this Chitravarma, who is a painter, starts giving advices like this, then no people will be happy in his kingdom. So they thought that they should seek help from Tenali Ramakrishna. Then Tenali Ramakrishna told them that he had an idea and assured them not to worry. Then Tenali Ramakrishna said, I know this is going to happen. And so, first itself, I just told, but that time the king did not agree. And so now I know, I have an idea now, and I just, he convinced. Assured means to convince or promise them. So he promised them that he is going to solve this problem. And one day, then Tenali Ramakrishna approached the Emperor Sri Krishna Dev Raya. He went to Sri Krishna Dev Raya. He didn't say about the Chitravarma or anything. He just went to him, and because he was very clever, he knows how to tackle the things. So he went to him and he said. So what he said in the next class we shall see in the next video. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you.